What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showcasing our custom built 2022 model indicator that we built out for ICTKESIK. This video is going to be, not too crazy long. I'm just going to be basically explaining to you and showing you, how we built the indicator, what the settings are, and then kind of how to use the indicator itself. So to start off, right, I'm sure that you guys have already went onto the WAP. You've clicked the claim access to the indicator and you've already put in your TradingView username. Once that happens, I'm going to just delete this one right here and we're going to start fresh. So once you input your TradingView username, you're going to go up here to the top right to this quick search. You're going to click insert indicator. You're going to go to invite only, and then you're going to look for the indicator. It's going to be 2022 model Pro Plus right here. So you're going to click it, and then you're going to see the three dots right here on the top left. It's going to start uploading it to the chart. So now click the drop down menu, and you're going to go into the settings right here. It's that second button. So now we're just going to quickly go through these settings. As you can see, we have a bias setting. So if what you're viewing the market, right, if you want to only look for shorts, you would change this bias to then, bearish. If you are only looking for bullish, right, if you see that we swept out major liquidity and you want to be only looking for bullish, then you would just change it for only bullish, right? I generally just keep it on neutral because it'll show you then both sides and you can see, which looks cleaner. The model, so we have two different models actually built into this indicator. We have both the silver bullet and the unicorn model. So we'll get into a little deeper, dive of exactly what the models look like. But we have both of the models that ICT goes over in its 2022 mentorship. Now we have a button for requiring the macro setup and removing the losing setups. So the require macro time is going to only display entry triggers from the last 15 minutes to the first 15 minutes of every 1 hour candle. So if you have this checked on, it'll only show you trades in between that window. If you have it checked off, it'll show you then all the possible trades throughout the entire day. Removing losing setups is obviously pretty self-explanatory. If you don't want to see the losing setups, obviously you have this on. If you want to see all the losing setups, you can just keep this off. The minimum grade to display, I keep this on B+, right, personally. You want to be seeing, you want to filter out some of the bad trades that the indicator will pick up. So by doing that, just keep it on B+, and that's basically it. Now that's basically the general settings, right? You're not really going to touch anything with the general settings. We basically made it default to be, the best possible settings. Now, after the general settings, after liquidity, everything is going to be fully customizable for what you want to see on your own charts. So, take a second to walk through this with me and then, go out into your own chart and, fully make your settings customizable for what you want to see. So now starting on liquidity, we have the ability to show buy side and sell side. I personally keep this off, but you can have the ability to turn on buy side and sell side. You have the ability to show the liquidity sweeps. So I don't know if it's going to show you. So yeah, you can see like this liquidity sweep right here. It's characterized by this money sweep right here. So if I change this to like black and say dotted, solid, it'll change in real time. You see how it's updating right here? You see this eye in the top left, it's updating. It's going to update this line to be then black and solid. So give it a second and it should update. I don't know why it's not updating. That's weird. But yeah, so basically, obviously you're going to want to fully customize the settings to be, exactly what you want to see, right? It'll show the data highs and lows. So at 8:30, if there's a data high and low, it'll mark it out completely for you. All the session liquidity. So this is show mitigated level. So after we take out a level, you can obviously keep it on or off. I keep it off because I don't want to see, targets that have already been taken. These are all the sessions. Obviously, if you want to change some of these sessions, change this to 9:30 because it's 9:30 to 11 o'clock. If you want to change the sessions, you can obviously change the kill zones. The macro. So now this is this white box that you see on my charts. My chart's actually like a gray background, but if you wanted to change the color of the back of the box, you would change this one, right? Because there's no border. So if you wanted to make it darker and whatever, you would change this box color. We have all the key opens for you. So midnight open and 8:30, and you can change that. It's fully customizable for yourself as well. We have high time frame for a value gap, so you could change the color of, a bullish and a bearish for a value gap. Bullish right here and bearish obviously on the right hand side. And it just updated the macro time. So now it fully displays, okay, this is at 9:45. It's only showing me, 9:45 to 10:15. This is the macro time right here. Going through current time frame fair value gaps, so it'll show you current time frame fair value gaps. And now we talked about this a little bit in the Dodgy indicator, but we're the first company of its kind to have automatic SMT detection. So it doesn't matter what chart you're actually on, it'll automatically recognize whatever chart you're on and then pick up the correlated asset. So as you can see, we're currently on NQ, but if I were to switch to gold, like it'll automatically display all the SMTs for gold, which is so sick. We have a premium and discount line, so if you actually wanted to show premium and discount of previous day, it'll show you, the 50% equilibrium. Breaker blocks, you could change the color of the breaker blocks and actually show whether or not like you want to show the breaker blocks. So we have the market structure shift and the breaker blocks. The actual entries that you're going to see, so you can actually change the colors of the entries if you wanted. I just keep them blue and red, right? Blue is to buy, red is to short. Market structure settings, so you obviously can change the settings of the market structure. Limits, it'll automatically show you where to take your profits. I personally take this off, right? I don't need this personally because I'm going to be targeting, draws and liquidity and stuff, and like just obvious, where we think we're going to go. Now alerts is big as well. I just keep it on all of this. Don't change anything, right? And then I'll show you how to set up the alerts as well. But yeah, just don't change any of this. Watermark, you can obviously take the watermark on or off. It's this button right here, this whatever. We have strategy checklist that you can keep on, and then yeah, that's basically it. So that's basically all of the settings and kind of what I would recommend for you. Obviously, the general settings is going to be more important. Everything else after liquidity is going to be fully customizable for what you want to see. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to just show you this entry signal that we had earlier in this week. So we're going to go to 9:30, and I'm going to kind of show you exactly how what the indicator will display. So now remember, it's only going to show you entry signals that are valid. If it's not a valid entry signal and everything doesn't line up with it, what the indicator is saying, then it's not going to show you an entry signal. So I don't know, I was just speaking there, but I don't know if you noticed, there was 3 dots right here on the top left. If you ever go into replay mode and you want to go back in time, you always have to wait for the 3 dots to display. The indicator will fully display and show everything. Then you can start moving. Don't move the cursor until everything fully displays. So now I'm just going to play this out and we're going to see if we get any. Okay, so we got a short signal right here. This was bad because this obviously fully delivers. You're not going to want to take this short signal, and that's right at 9:15 or 9:45. Now we didn't get any buy signals up in here. Then we finally got a short signal right here, right? So from here we can see that we created the market structure shift and we had the entry signal for the fair value gap. So you would just be limiting this fair value gap right here, and you can see that once we put in the top right here, let's go to a different time frame or whatever, so it speeds up a little bit, but you can see that this thing fully delivers obviously to these relative equal lows that we left here in pre-market. Now this is kind of exactly how you want to use the indicator, and this is just one example of a market structure shift entry. I'm going to show you now a long opportunity that you could have also taken. Okay, so now for this example, you can see that I have us pulled up right here at 9:30 to a specific day. You can see that we're delivering from this 5-minute fair value gap. We have London low marked out right here in Asia low. So I'm just going to play out at 9:30. You can see that we completely take out those lows. We sweep out this some sort of internal range liquidity. There's this 5-minute completely marked out for you. And we're just waiting, right? Because we don't see any entry signals. And the good thing about this is it's not going to display an entry signal unless the entry signal is completely valid. So as you can see right here, we open up the macro. We create a market structure shift right here. Now we're just waiting for a fair value gap to open, and we have an opening right here. So all you would do literally is just mark it in right here, or you would put your limit. You would put your stops at the start of the displacement candles, and you'd be targeting an obvious draw on liquidity, which is this 9:30 wick right here that we left. We know that this 9:30 wick is a super strong draw on liquidity. So now you could have entered right here, and if we play this out, you can see that we came close to getting, stop loss, but there was actually another entry signal right here. So if you actually miss this entry signal and you didn't want to take this first entry signal, you could have waited, right? Waited till we come up, create like a CISD order block kind of thing right here, and we have another entry signal right here. So if you wanted, you take the second entry signal, put your stops at the start of the displacement candles, and target the obvious draw on liquidity, which is, the 9:30 open, 9:30 high right here. Probably break even right here, and full TV completely smashed. Now this is exactly how you kind of want to formulate your trades, right? We'll just go back into replay mode real quick, and I'll show you, the strategy checklist, everything. kind of start to finish. So again, remember, I just went back into replay mode. Got to always wait for the 3 dots to fully stop loading, right? Now that it's fully stopped loading, we can see that we swept out internal. We're delivering from this 5-minute fair value gap. We create, oh, now it's bugged. Crap. Hold on, I got to go back into replay mode more. So yeah, you saw how like sometimes if you go too fast, it won't catch, like the indicator won't catch it, you're moving. So you have to go back farther and then start playing up price. So as you can see, yeah, now it's working. So now we create the market structure right here, right? The market structure shift creates right here. Right now, the strategy checklist is only a B-. We're waiting for, I don't know why it's not showing within the macro, but that's weird. So okay, now it shows it. So now it's within the macro. Oh, so it's probably showing you that the entry signal is within the macro. So everything was here besides a session liquidity sweep. So this was an A trade, and I mean, that's literally it. You know, sweep of internal, delivery from this 5-minute market structure shift, fair value gap tap, obvious draw on liquidity. You know, that's basically all you need to do. And then, you know, we could go over this unicorn model right here. So this is a breaker block model, basically, starting at the top. And then, yeah, I'll probably finish off with this example right here. So again, you know, I just went back into replay mode. Always got to wait for this 3 dots to finish, right? So once we, I went too close to it. So I got to go back into replay mode, go a little bit farther, wait for it to finish, stop loading. So the good thing is, like, it's not ever going to be this laggy in real time. The only time it's like laggy like this is in replay mode when you're trying to backtest and stuff. I mean, it's a very long script, right? We put a lot of time and effort into this, so it has a lot of like characteristics and stuff. I don't know why it's not. It's supposed to be catching it right here. It's probably just bugged because now I'm going back and forth in replay mode. But I mean, you guys obviously saw that we created the breaker block right here. Once we created the breaker block, the fair value gap right here, you limit the fair value gap. It has the data high, so this is basically a turtle soup entry as well. And I mean, this thing fully delivers. Like, you have Asia low marked out right here, London low. This is market open right here, right? And then we create the market structure shift, the fair value gap, and you have the entry signal right here. I don't know why now it's displaying it. It must be just a bug in replay mode. But I mean, as you can see, like, we didn't get filled on this one. But like, this indicator is stupid good. Like, you know, if you wanted to, you just mark it in, right? Once we create the breaker block, or if you want a better entry, you limit. But I mean, that's fully up to you, right? So that's basically going over, you know, ICTKESIKS 2022 model. If you guys obviously have any questions, drop them in the chat in the Discord. Make sure you join our free Discord. Before we go, I'm going to show you guys how to set up alerts. So come onto the indicator right here. You see the 3 dots right here. You're going to click the more button. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't be in replay mode for this. So leave replay mode. We'll go out. Go to the 3 dots where it says add alert, right? You're going to click add alert. Now, for every single time frame that you want the alert to show, you have to change that time frame. So if you want the alerts to show you on the 1 minute, you got to click the 1 minute and then create. If you want to see, you know, for the 5 minute, click the 5 minute and create. For every single time frame, you're going to have to create its own individual alert. So then you come up here to the top right to alerts, and you can go to alerts, and you can see all of your alerts that you want, right? So these are exactly kind of where you'll see the alerts after you create them. So yeah, guys, I think with all of that being said, we're going to kind of end off here and finish up. Like I said, if you guys have any other questions, obviously drop them in the chat. We're here to help. And I hope you guys find some success with this, because this is, you know, obviously a very, very strong tool and a very strong indicator. But like always, even with the dodgy indicator, you know, you want to use this indicator for confirmation for what you know is already about to happen. You don't want to fully rely on the signals. As well as we made it, you can't fully rely on the signals, right? So with all that being said, guys, I will see you guys in the next video, and hope you guys stay safe in the market. All right, peace out, fellas.